Hello and welcome back to our live Q&A sessions. It is Wellness Wednesday, and today we're going to be talking all about some suggestions for exercise support for how to fuel strong women nutritionally with regard to exercise and activity. My name is Adelaide, and I am a certified nutrition and wellness consultant with Rose Natural Wellness, where we specialize in the education and personalized guidance surrounding women's nutrition. So today on Wellness Wednesday, I am super excited to chat with you all about some key tips for supporting exercise and activity and making sure that you are doing this in a healthy and nutritious way. So if you're somebody that has ever wondered what you should eat before a workout or what to eat after, when to take a creatine supplement, when to eat, with the timing of your workouts. We're going to cover all of that in today's live session to make sure that you're fueling your way that you are fueling your body in a way that supports your energy, your strength, and a healthy body composition without necessarily having to specifically accommodate to any dietary rules. So again, I am a certified nutrition and wellness consultant, but I also hold a certification in sports nutrition. So I help athletes of all ages to learn how to incorporate healthy eating into their particular athletic or exercise program. So this is a topic that I feel is really, really important, as of course we all should be exercising and doing that in a way that is honoring our body's abilities and a celebration of our strength. And then of course we need to fuel our body in a way that's going to support those goals and be highly nutritious. So first and foremost, before we get into the specific nutritional recommendations surrounding exercise, I do want to bust a big myth that I hear floating around out there, and that is talking about a fed versus a fasted state for exercise. So what I mean by that is, should you eat before you exercise, or should you not eat and be fasted when you are exercising? So there is a big myth out there that exercising in a fasted state actually burns more fat. But again, that is unfortunately a myth. On a cellular level, technically, when you are exercising in a fasted state, that does allow your body to start burning fat more quickly, as and at a cellular level, when you get into the nitty gritty of how the body processes different nutrients and how it works with fat loss. Technically, yes, working out in a fasted state does burn more fat, but only during that period. And it is negated when you eat afterwards. So, in other words, you're technically losing more fat by being fasted because the fat is directly able to be converted and start burning off. However, as soon as you eat, that kind of cancels out. So, what often happens is people hear that, oh, I can work out in a fasted state and burn more fat, and so they lean into that and start working out fasted. However, when we refuel, that's going to cut off that mechanism. And so it's really not going to give you as much of a bang for your buck as you would think. So what actually would be a better strategy for most people in most cases is to do your exercise or your activity in a fed state. So eat before you exercise. So this is going to be really helpful because it helps support your performance. It helps support your muscle preservation. So what that means is what can often happen if we're in a fasted state and we're doing a lot of exercise and we're not refueling properly is that actually, instead of burning fat, we are actually burning through our muscle. Muscle is a lot more challenging for the body to hold on to. It takes a lot more energy and resources to maintain muscle. So if we're not fueling our body properly, we may see that we start to lose weight on the scale, but realistically, it's actually muscle loss that's occurring rather than fat loss, which is the opposite of what we want. So we definitely want to preserve our muscle. By eating before we exercise, that helps to make sure that our muscles are filled with what's called glycogen. Glycogen comes from directly from the food that we eat. It is fueled by the glucose that you get from healthy carbohydrates. Our muscles are also fueled by amino acids. These are really important for keeping us strong and having us be ready to participate in that exercise and have the energy to sustain it. This also helps a lot with blood sugar balance. If we're eating before a workout, that gives us, again, the fuel that we need to get through that workout, especially if you're somebody that has challenges with blood sugar regulation. This is really, really, really important because the last thing we want is for you to start your exercise, your blood sugar dips, and now suddenly you have some big problems because your blood sugar is low as you're trying to keep up with your movement. So I definitely recommend eating before an exercise to make sure that you're properly fueled so that you can actually get the benefits of that exercise. Now, everybody is completely different. We call this bio-individuality. Everybody is very different. So the only exception I would say to this rule is if you genuinely feel better working out in a fasted state. Let's say, for example, I have a client who her schedule is really, really crazy, and she has a lot of challenges with trying to fit a workout routine into her day based on her schedule. So she prefers to wake up early and hit a 5 a.m. workout class. So she's waking up usually between 4 and 4:30 a.m., which is not really the ideal time to be eating for her. She just doesn't get hungry at that time, and found that by eating before her exercise that she was actually getting bloated and feeling more slow and sluggish when she started exercising. So for her, working out in a fasted state actually worked better. She felt that she had better energy levels, better digestion, and was able to still perform the exercises to a level that she was happy with. So if you genuinely feel better working out fasted, that's okay. I would just say, as a general rule, for most people, working out in a fed state is a lot better. Now, a couple other exceptions would be something like if you wanted to do a light exercise in the morning, or at a time during the day when you have not eaten. That's okay. Light walk, some yoga, some stretching. That is perfectly fine to perform those types of exercises in a fasted state as long as it feels right for your body. But if you're somebody who's doing endurance activities like running, swimming, biking, if you're lifting a lot, I really, really, really recommend eating before you participate in exercise. It's just going to really help to boost your level of strength, boost your performance. It'll help with the mental clarity piece and certainly that blood sugar balance that we're looking for, which is so essential when we're moving our bodies and doing intense exercises. So I would just recommend start with a small snack or a meal before you work out, see how it feels, and then you can always adjust from there. All right. So next thing is kind of some recommendations for what we should be doing before and after our exercise to really support our bodies. So, before, I would give it a window of time before you exercise after you eat because we do want to support that healthy digestion and not run into the gym feeling bloated and sluggish. So, ideally, you want to aim to eat 60 to 90 minutes before, and we want to make sure that it is protein and healthy carbohydrate focused. So carbs plus protein is going to equal energy and muscle support. Great example of this would be something like a Greek yogurt with some berries. Maybe you could add in a banana or peanut butter. You could also do like an egg and toast. That's going to be a good option for giving you a healthy carbohydrate and protein. So biggest takeaway that I want you to have is when we are fueling before an exercise, we want to aim heavy on carbs and protein. Now, afterwards, the refueling process is just as important as the pre-fueling process, maybe even more important, because now we've gone through our exercise, we have really depleted our muscle stores, our energy is low now because we've hit it really hard, and you should be hopefully a little bit hungry after your exercise because you've just burned through a bunch of fuel. So, for women, it is absolutely essential that you refuel within 30 to 60 minutes post exercise. This is absolutely huge. I would say this is even more important than the timing of eating before an exercise. 30 to 60 minutes post exercise. And again, we want this to be very focused on healthy protein and healthy carbohydrate sources. So, good options would be things like a protein smoothie with some fruit in it, a chicken wrap, quinoa bowl, cottage cheese, and pineapple, whatever sounds good to you, but absolutely refuel between that 30 to 60-minute period after your exercise. Your muscles are going to be ready to absorb those nutrients right away. And we really don't want to skip out on that window of opportunity. You're going to see massive benefits in terms of your energy levels, your cognition. So, not feeling quite so foggy after an exercise, just feeling more with it, more on top of things. And then certainly, this is going to help give your muscles the fuel that they need to replenish those glycogen stores, and just to keep you going throughout the day. So, when you've put your body through that intense exercise, you're going to be sore, you're going to have your muscle stores depleted. And of course, as we're exercising, we're creating little microscopic tears in the muscle. That's how we build more muscle. Well, those tears need to heal before we can work that group, that muscle group again. So, in order to heal, they need to be properly nourished with the nutrients that are capable of rebuilding that muscle. So, that's why it is so essential to make sure that you're fueling post exercise as well. Now, big question that I always get from women is how much protein do I really need to eat? And this is going to be a pretty good general rule for most people. Before I give this formula to determine your protein needs, I will emphasize that, especially if you're an endurance athlete, especially if you're lifting a lot, just working out a ton, just really staying very active, we want to definitely aim on the higher end of this spectrum. And I would say most women in general should be aiming on the higher end of the spectrum in general, because it is so essential to get enough protein to support our body's needs. And this goes far beyond just muscle building. This also goes into the realm of weight loss and energy levels, and even supporting our healthy hormone production. So it is vital for women that we aim between half to 1 times your ideal body weight in grams of protein every day. So, for example, if you are somebody that weighs 140 pounds, or 140 pounds is your ideal body weight, you should be aiming for somewhere between 70 to 140 grams of protein every single day. So, each meal, if we're eating 3 meals a day, that would break down to between 25 to 45 grams of protein at each meal. So, this is so important because it helps, again, to build and maintain muscle, balance your blood sugar, and it does also help to reduce cravings and create just more balance in your healthy eating and just in that homeostasis of your body overall. So, one thing I often hear too is a lot of women are kind of afraid to increase their protein. They're worried that eating a lot of protein and working out is going to make them bulky. And I really want to emphasize that that's not the case. This is just about fueling your body in a way that is healthy and supports your needs. It's just going to make you feel stronger, more energized, and even help lean out. That's a big thing that a lot of women don't realize, is that they often, if they're trying to lose weight, they just look at calories and want to just cut that down. And of course, it's true that in order to lose weight, you should be in a calorie deficit, which means, eating less calories than what you would need to maintain your current body weight. However, by doing that, many women find that they're actually not supporting their body's energetic needs as best as they could. And often women are not eating enough to actually lose weight. And by getting enough protein, this can really help with that particular challenge. Now, one thing that is extremely helpful for supporting muscle mass is going to be a supplement called creatine. You may have heard of it. It's something that is very popular among men and among the bodybuilding community. But realistically, creatine is a supplement that is really accessible and beneficial for everyone, not just men, not just bodybuilders. It's actually one of the most well studied, well documented supplements, and it has been proven time and time again to be both safe and effective. So if you are new here, you may not have heard me talk on this topic a whole lot, but if you're a regular listener or watcher on our channel, you will have probably heard me talk about how I really don't recommend a lot of supplements because I do believe that we should be focusing most of our energy and our nutrient needs on real whole foods. They operate and work with our body so much differently than supplements. Supplements are not a substitute for real foods. So I typically don't recommend a lot of supplements, but this would be a particular exception. Creatine is a very, very powerful tool that we can utilize for our benefit. It helps with muscle strength building, with your recovery, so helping your muscles to recover from those microscopic tears, build muscle back. It can help with your brain health. We've also seen in research that creatine can actually help with mood regulation, and I have certainly seen those benefits firsthand as well. And it helps with supporting a healthy body composition. So, supporting muscle growth and fat loss and getting you into a state where you feel strong, healthy, and well nourished. So, creatine is great for all women, especially if you are lifting, even if you're just walking and doing body weight type of movements or just generally staying active. Creatine can be something that is really helpful, and it indirectly helps to support fat loss by building that lean muscle. So we call that body recomposition. That's where you're decreasing your fat stores and increasing your lean muscle mass, which has tons and tons of long-term health benefits. So typically we see creatine recommended in a dose of about 5 grams daily. And let me specify, this should be creatine monohydrate. That is the most bioavailable form of creatine. And I specifically prefer the powdered version of creatine monohydrate as opposed to capsules or any other variety. Definitely, I do want to point this out. If you see creatine in the form of gummies, avoid it. Please do not eat those creatine gummies. They're full of sugar, and I just watched a video where a scientist had broken down all of the major brands of creatine gummies and did third-party testing on each one and found that the vast majority of those creatine gummy supplements on the market do not have the amount of creatine in them that they say on the label, and they're actually full of a lot of sugar. So if you go that route, you're just going to be spending unnecessary money and you're not going to be getting any benefits. So please avoid those gummy supplements. And that's not just specific to creatine, that is all gummy supplements. They are very low on the bioavailability and they're just full of sugar and typically do not have the correct amount of whatever nutrient they are saying that they have. So just avoid those gummy supplements at all costs. But back to our dosage recommendations. 5 grams daily is a good place to start. Dr. Gabrielle Lyons, she is a pioneer in the field of women's muscle building and the science behind women's muscle mass for longevity, so long-term healthy living. She has actually pointed out that for women, it is better to actually increase that and aim for about 10 grams of creatine daily. And this has seen huge benefits in the body composition and muscle mass of many different women. So if you are interested in taking a creatine supplement to support your exercise routine and your healthy living, I recommend getting a powdered creatine monohydrate supplement, starting with 5 grams daily. and then you can slowly increase to 10 grams per day to help support your needs. And again, this can be either taken in the morning, you can take it in the evening, really any time of day. It doesn't matter a ton. But if you are somebody who maybe struggles with sleep or mood regulation, there have been shown major benefits from creatine monohydrate supplementation for sleep and for mood regulation, especially if taken at night. So if you're going to be trying out that 10 gram per day recommendation, you could consider doing 5 grams in the morning and 5 grams in the evening. That may be a great place to start for you. Now, I really want to talk more about activity in general. When we talk about exercise, we're not just talking about hitting the weights in the gym, going for a run, or doing a 5K. Exercise is more broadly just any movement that supports your health. It does not have to necessarily be in the gym. Of course, I really, really recommend and encourage people to find an activity that you enjoy, whether that's a sport, walking around in your neighborhood, outdoor activities, or actually going to the gym. Find something that you enjoy that you can keep as a regular routine. But beyond that, even non-exercise related activity will still help give you some benefits. So non-exercise related movement is going to be things like walking that is not specifically for exercise. So walking from the parking lot to your car, taking the stairs, gardening outside, playing with your kids, doing some housework. All of those movement-based activities that may not actually be exercise per se, these are all going to still contribute to your overall movement pattern for the day. This will help with supporting insulin regulation, energy levels, your healthy fat metabolism, and of course, provide stress relief. And pun intended, I cannot stress enough how important stress relief is because I find that so many women struggle to lose weight or struggle to meet their health goals. And the common denominator is not motivation, it's not your drive and your dedication to it. It's not that you don't have the right systems in place. It's more so that stress is clouding your ability to stay consistent and to stay positive throughout that process. So, by decreasing your stress, many women will find that they have a better opportunity to lose fat and to just be more in tune with their bodies and achieve their health goals. So, all types of exercise or movement matter. I would definitely recommend pairing non exercise related movement with a more regimented exercise routine or athletic program, but find something that you enjoy that supports your needs and your health and provides you with those benefits. So to kind of wrap all of this great information up, essentially, this boils down to a few things. Fueling your workouts can be simple. It doesn't have to be extremely complicated, but we really want to aim for protein first, healthy carbs second. Of course, healthy hydration. We cannot support our body's needs without proper hydration. And listen to your body. If you feel that working out fed is better for you, work out fed. If you feel that working out fasted is better because you get up early in the morning or it just feels better to you, you can do that. Make sure that you fuel after your workouts so that you're supporting your body's needs. And it's not just limited to that either. Make sure that you're really being specific and cognizant to fuel your body with healthy hydration and healthy foods all throughout the day so that no matter what your routine looks like or when you decide to work out, you have the fuel that you need to be successful and achieve your health goals. And if you are somebody that is particularly doing a lot of sports, exercise, or lifting, I do recommend looking into a creatine monohydrate supplement. This can definitely be a very helpful tool in your arsenal to help with body composition, mood regulation, building muscle, and supporting lean muscle mass. So definitely take a look at that, check it out, and see if it's right for you. Now, Beyond that, if you are looking for some more information about exercise and fitness, we actually just did a whole feature article on a local personal trainer and gym owner here in Southwest Florida. So if you are local to Southwest Florida or specifically Cape Coral, Florida, please check out our featured article on Ronnie Petito and PPTC Fitness. They are a local gym that is committed to community and helping people learn about healthy exercise that is specific to their needs and their goals. Ronnie is amazing and a really great resource in the community to help with supporting your exercise needs. So if you are local to Cape Coral or you just want to learn more, check out the link that's in the description to read that article about PPTC Fitness. And if you are somebody that's looking for more specific personalized recommendations around your healthy eating and nutrition, please talk to us. We are happy and proud to provide a free discovery call for anybody that would be interested in learning more about healthy eating or having that personalized accountability and guidance towards their goals. We do offer that free discovery call consultation, and you can book that anytime. The link is in the description as well. And we do work with people all across the United States. There's unfortunately a few states that we cannot provide services to, but the vast majority of the states in the US, we are happy to provide services to you. So give us a shout, message us, leave a comment, or go ahead and schedule that discovery call, and we would be happy to see how we can help you specifically with your nutrition and wellness goals. And of course, if we are not the right fit to assist you, we will absolutely do our very best to find you somebody that can assist you and help you along your journey. So definitely reach out to us and we would be happy to provide that support. So I hope that during this live, you learned a little bit of something about supporting healthy exercise through nutrition. And certainly, if you have any questions, comments, or want to cover a certain topic next, please go ahead and leave a comment in the comment box, and we would be happy to address that in a future Wellness Wednesday live Q&A. Have a healthy and happy day, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.